Guardians, today we're taking a look at a hunter build that really makes you feel like a bounty hunter. That's right, we're taking a look at a build that uses the brand new aspect On the Prowl. Let's get into it. With Episode Heresy, we got a brand new hunter aspect, On the Prowl. This makes it so that whenever you go invisible, a new enemy is marked as a priority target. Whenever you or your team kills that enemy, they release a weakening smoke cloud that gives grenade, melee, and class ability energy. This cloud deals damage over time, but it also allows you and allies to go invisible when passing through it. This is such a unique gameplay loop when compared to most other builds. Now, you want to be a bit more intentional with which enemies you're killing, going for those priority targets more often. The really cool thing is that the smoke clouds that drop from killing priority targets offer a ton of benefit, but also they count as melee damage, meaning it'll proc other aspects, fragments, and even armor mods. Since we can easily keep up our invisibility and make our allies invisible, it only seemed right to bring the exotic chest piece, Omnioculus. That way, whenever you or allies are invisible, you gain a ×4 resist, or in other words, an extra 50% damage resistance. Plus, we'll get an extra smoke bomb, and whenever we make an ally invisible, we'll gain back 50% melee energy. And yes, this does work with the smoke clouds that drop from On the Prowl. So let's dive into the build and break down how it works. For the super, I love bringing Deadfall Tether. That way we can lock down an area or offer a way to deal more damage to bosses, and the Deadfall variant will last a bit longer. For the class ability, I went with Gambler's Dodge. That way, I can dodge near a group of enemies to gain back a melee charge so that I can use it to immediately go invisible if I need to. For the melee, we only have Smoke Bomb to work with, but it pairs perfectly with this build. And for that grenade, I'm bringing the Vortex Grenade. It's easy to use, and it can pull enemies in so you can throw it on top of a Smoke Bomb and pull them in to also weaken them. When it comes to the aspects, as we mentioned, we're bringing the brand new aspect On the Prowl. The main thing to remember is that you want to go invisible to start up the On the Prowl cycle. Then keep moving towards those priority targets to go invisible again. And for that second aspect, I like to take Trapper's Ambush. That way we can activate Quick Fall while in the air to consume a melee charge, slamming back into the ground and making us and nearby allies invisible. In most cases, this feels like the best aspect to take. Though in general content like seasonal activities, Stylist Executioner is pretty fun since you can easily dip in and out of invisibility constantly, from volatile explosions and the weakening effect. So when it comes to our fragments, for the first fragment, I'm taking Echo of Persistence, so that now all void buffs have an increased duration. Then I'm taking Echo of Starvation. That way when we pick up an orb or a void breach, we gain Devour, allowing us to heal on kills and get back more grenade energy. Next, I'm taking Echo of Obscurity. That way we can easily perform a finisher to go invisible and start up our cycle for On the Prowl. I like to have this as a backup option in case I don't have another way to go invisible. Then I take Echo of Leeching. That way melee kills will start health regen for you and allies. Remember, our smoke bomb kills or the clouds that drop from On the Prowl will both count as melee kills and proc this health regen. Finally, I'm taking Echo of Vigilance. That way when scoring a kill while at critical health, you gain a Void Overshield, and this really comes in clutch in hard content, offering more survivability when at low health. And if you're enjoying the video, head down and hit that like button. It'd be much appreciated. Okay, let's get back to the video. So what does this look like in action? Well, at the start of every encounter, I like to activate my Quick Fall near teammates to go invisible and refund my melee energy. That will then mark a target, so I make sure to try and prioritize that enemy, and once killed, I quickly jump into that cloud of smoke. Repeat this cycle as much as you want to gain back more ability energy and constantly weaken enemies. If you get caught in a sticky situation, quickly activate your Quick Fall to go invisible and gain that damage resistance. If you have a tougher target that needs melting, feel free to chuck a normal smoke bomb at them to deal some extra damage and weaken them. So let's talk about ways to improve the build. For stats, I like to shoot for 100 in resilience and discipline. After that, I go for a mix of mobility and strength. When it comes to armor mods, for the helmet mods, first I like to take a harmonic siphon to help create a ton of orbs. Then for most cases, I'd recommend heavy ammo finder to create more heavy ammo. And I like to pair that all with hands-on. That's because our smoke clouds are likely to get kills in most easy content, so this helps feed back into your tether faster. As for the gauntlets, first I bring heavy-handed. This makes it so that powered melee kills will create orbs every 10 seconds. Then I bring momentum transfer. That way, if I do run out of smoke bombs, I can use my grenade to help refund it quicker. And then I take harmonic loader. That way, our void weapons will have increased reload speed. And for the chest mods, in most content, I'm recommending 3 resistance mods. Normally, I like to take 2 elemental resistance and a melee resistance, since we will be up close and personal with a ton of enemies. That way, we can dip into our smoke clouds. As for the leg mods, I love to bring 3 void weapon surges. That way, our void weapons will be dealing an extra 22% damage. And I love to bring 2 void weapons to make the most out of these surges. As for the class mods, I first bring Reaper, so that after using our class ability, our next weapon kill will create an orb. Then I bring Powerful Attraction, so that when we do use that class ability, we'll pick up any nearby orbs. And finally, I bring Time Dilation, so that our weapon surge will last for longer, which is really good for DPS phases. When it comes to the artifact, the first perk we want to take is Volatile Marksman. This now makes it so that when getting rapid void weapon precision hits or kills, you gain volatile rounds for your void weapons. And when boosted, Volatile Explosions will grant class ability energy for more smoke bombs after dodging. Then we want to take Maligned Harvest, so that after rapidly inflicting Volatile, our next void damage will weaken an enemy. And this is that 15% weaken, not the 30%. This is less important for generic gameplay, but it is really strong when it comes to longer DPS phases when your tether runs out. I love bringing a Void Machine Gun. That way you can bring Hold the Line and Heavy Ordnance, so that machine gun kills will heal you while you're surrounded, and you gain damage resistance and ability energy for dealing damage with machine guns. When it comes to weapons, we want to bring a Void primary weapon. So in the kinetic slot, I like to bring a Fusion Rifle to help melt with particle reconstruction. Something like Scatter Signal is perfect since it can also take advantage of the Strand artifact perks. But you could alternatively bring a Sniper if you want to deal more damage at range. For the energy slot, you have plenty of strong Void weapons to choose from. But staying with the theme of Bounty Hunter vibes, I was really enjoying Le Monarch. The poison compounding with the smoke bomb poison damage felt really good. Not to mention the Catalyst offers it unrelenting, making it easier to heal. But any legendary void weapon with Repulsor Brace is a good option, or a weapon like Graviton Lance is also really good. And finally in that heavy slot, my favorite option was Hammerhead, since it can get some really good damage perks like Rampage and Killing Tally, and it takes advantage of those artifact perks. Though you could always go with a classic like Edge Transit if you want to. Well, there you have it, Guardians. I just covered a build that lets you embody what it means to be a bounty hunter. But remember, mastering this build is only the beginning. Experiment with different combinations and tweak your loadout to suit your playstyle. If you found this video helpful or just enjoy seeing a new perspective, feel free to like the video and comment down below on what you might change or how you'd improve the On the Prowl build. Keep an eye out for future videos as we continue to explore the ever-evolving world of Destiny 2. Until then, may the threads of fate be ever in your favor. This is Lucky Mech, signing off. See you on the next adventure, Guardians.